So where do I begin? 1 in 4 people are now suffering from anxiety, with no reason to know why it's starting, what's happening, and I'm one of those. My path to anxiety has been a long and a hard one. I came out of school, bullied to hell, with the ability not to speak in front of many people. I suffered a lot. I thought people were judging me on the street. I could hear voices in my head telling me they were, and every giggle felt like it was about me. I couldn't leave the house without headphones in. It was horrible, and I didn't know what it was. I thought I was just one of those bully kids, and they're always bullied, and it'll go away, they always said, and they'll get mature, they'll forget about it. But I was always looked at funny, and I always felt weird. I wasn't one of the pack. I didn't dress normally, and I wasn't afraid to be me, and I think that scared them. There's not a lot I can say about anxiety. It sucks. I have help now. I'm on medication, but I kind of want to explore what happens to those that don't look for help. I was never afraid to voice that I was struggling. I went to everyone, and I used many platforms. I used social media accounts, which I will look into. I used the therapy offered at my university when I was having multiple breakdowns during uni. I just knew where to look, but I know that there's those out there that don't know where to start, and I kind of want to use this video to explain to them that there is something out there and just where to go for it. So I guess I should explain what anxiety feels like. The rush of voices in your head, the slow and heavy breathing, the fade of images and worries, and the shaking of hands, the anxiety fits. Death just feels inevitable. That's all you can think about. Like many people, I use social media for help, just like many of this generation do nowadays. I can take you to one of my most popular anxiety and depression forums. Is this one. I found this when I was 15, and it's helped me ever since. It just has articles that people share, people's personal stories, and just people reaching out for help. It's been a great way to make friends. Like you can see, I've posted on there before. And I think it's really helping some people. But I don't know if it's a great way to talk to someone. I don't know, because it's not tailored to them, whether it really works. But I think it's a great way to find help, and to definitely start looking for help. There's advice lines on there, there's people to speak to, and there's always people encouraging you to go to the doctors if you need it. There's medical advice on the internet, and it needs to be used to its best ability, but it needs to be used wisely. I've surrounded myself with people who suffer from anxiety and depression my whole life, including my fiancé Jack Sims. I thought I'd sit him down and get him to tell me about his story and what it was like for him growing up.
Hello. How do you want me to do this?
Well, just say your name and introduce yourself.
Okay. My name's Jack. I'm 24. I like to think of myself as a punk rock aficionado. I know Sophie because I live with her, and she's going to be my wife.
Can you tell us what you suffer from?
I suffer from depression, and I have done since I was 19, on and off.
How have you dealt with it?
In the beginning, I didn't deal with it. I just sort of ignored it, you know, which is the first reaction you do. you know, when you feel like something's going wrong, you're in denial about it half the time. It was only when really I had my first quite severe mental breakdown just before I turned 21. I tried ending my own life and was sent to hospital. I spent all night in the hospital, and my mother picked me up, and I lied to my mother about why I was in the hospital, and that was sort of the first time where I kind of was like, something's not quite right here and I kind of need to do something about it.
Just like Jack, many people don't know where to go to look for help. Today I'm on the way to uni to see my Solent student rep, Hannah Head. She deals with the welfare at uni and standing up for students.
Hi, so I'm Hannah, I'm the Welfare and Community Officer at the Students' Union, and I represent students, so a lot of the mental health work university does, I kind of work with them on that, and try and make sure they put things like more funding and more staff into the areas that support students with their mental health conditions, and then also kind of run campaigns on exam stress and that sort of thing as well.
With the stress and rush of university, many suffer from some form of mental health problem. They often don't know where to go for advice and help. What would you suggest within the university and other universities?
I mean, I think most universities have student support and counsellors for students now, but I think if you don't know where to go, I'd just say go and chat to a students' union or ask your academic staff. But most places have, I mean at Solent we have Students First, which is the counselling team and all the support services, but most places don't have the same name, so I'd just say switch to Students' Union.
The statistics that currently state that 1 in every 4 students suffer from mental health, such as anxiety. With your experience with students, do you think this is accurate?
That's a really good question. I think most students suffer from anxiety, but not from an anxiety disorder. So I think if we're just talking about anxiety as kind of an emotion, it would be a lot higher than that. But the actual diagnosable disorders, I think 1 in 4, maybe a little bit higher than that actually. But I don't think the statistic really matters. I think we just know a hell of a lot of students are struggling with their mental health. That's enough.
Do you think that the stress of education on young people has helped with the rise in mental health?
Yes, as an answer for that. I think universities and going to university is a lot more stressful than it used to be. You know, you're paying a hell of a lot of money, especially if you come from a low-income background. That's a huge ordeal. And then there's the kind of expectation to do well and to achieve. And there's just a lot more pressure on young people. The job market isn't what it used to be. You're coming to university to learn skills and hopefully to get a job, but if there's no jobs for you, that is really stressful. So I know that's something that a lot of third years struggle with. So.
Do you think that universities such as this one could do anything more than they already are to offer help and support for those struggling?
I think all universities could be doing more, not just this one. This is a conversation I have with officers across the country. All universities could be doing more. There is always money going into projects that don't benefit students as much, and really boring things like admin costs and stuff like that. There's always the possibility to streamline that and put more money into support services for students. And I think it's crucial, and I think universities need to be developing online and telephone counselling and that sort of service as opposed to just the on-campus services as well. That's enough.
Do you think that the stress of education on young people has helped with the rise in mental health?
Yes, as an answer for that. I think universities and going to university is a lot more stressful than it used to be. You know, you're paying a hell of a lot of money, especially if you come from a low-income background. That's a huge ordeal. And then there's the kind of expectation to do well and to achieve. And there's just a lot more pressure on young people. The job market isn't what it used to be. You're coming to university to learn skills and hopefully to get a job, but if there's no jobs for you, that is really stressful. So I know that's something that a lot of third years struggle with. So.
Do you think that universities such as this one could do anything more than they already are to offer help and support for those struggling?
I think all universities could be doing more, not just this one. This is a conversation I have with officers across the country. All universities could be doing more. There is always money going into projects that don't benefit students as much, and really boring things like admin costs and stuff like that. There's always the possibility to streamline that and services for students. And I think it's crucial, and I think universities need to be developing online and telephone counselling and that sort of service as opposed to just the on-campus services as well.
I hope this video has given you an insight of what it's like to have anxiety and mental health problems. Thank you.